Today I'm going to tell you one of the most easiest ways to get someone out of a nightclub. Whether it's one or more people, this is the easiest way to get someone out of a club. I was a bouncer for 4 years. I was a corrections officer for a while. I've worked with kids, and I'll tell you, one of the easiest ways, people think that being a bouncer or being a door guy is about being rough with people. It really is the last thing you want to do, okay? Because one, now they know where you work. Two, there's always going to be more of them than maybe three, you never know if weapons are going to get involved. So when I tell people, you walk up to the person, and this is exactly what I would do verbatim. Hey, can I talk to you for a second? I keep in mind how I would want to be talked to about, not embarrassing them in front of their girlfriend or whatever. Listen, you've had a couple too many to drink or whatever. The management wants me to ask you to leave, but I just want to tell you, you're allowed back in. My boss wants me to have you come back tomorrow. I'll personally buy you and your friend a drink. No hard feelings. This is my job. I'm not trying to be a tough guy with you or anything. I'm trying to be respectful, and I need you to leave. I need you to close your tab out, and I'm asking you to leave, and it doesn't have to be any big deal or anything. And you'd be surprised, 80% of people will leave. You know what I mean? I always tell them, I'll buy a drink. I always tell people this: I don't want to start out with an aggression level that's like a 7, and then I have nowhere to go but up. You know what I mean? And people that are drunk and are under the influence of alcohol and drugs or whatever, they can think irrational. So you have to be the voice of reason. And I just tell people, man, just talk to people with respect. Don't get heavy on people. You know what I mean? Don't get heavy with people unless you really have to. And, I can't tell you how many times I've walked up to people and told them, listen, just what I told you, we'd like you to come back, you know what I mean? But we have a job, and, a couple things, you broke a glass, whatever. We're not worried about it. It's not a big deal. But, I'm just asking you, so if you would be so kind. And, if somebody doesn't want to leave, then, my next thing is okay, I'll walk away and I'll have a chat with a couple of the guys, and we'll kind of see how many people are with this guy. Or I'll go to the bartender and tell him, close this person's tab out, you know what I mean? And they'll give them back their tab, sign for it, they kind of go, what's going on? And then you just tell them, listen, you got to go, okay? We asked you nice. Now, I don't want to make a scene with you. I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want anybody, getting hurt or anything, but you got to leave. And if they don't, it really depends on how many people are around them, and I don't mean just necessarily people with them, but how many people could get hurt, how many people could get hurt if something escalated. If I need to, I'll call the police. You know what I mean? If it's not worth it, and you think about all the lawsuits and shit that can happen, or somebody could get hurt that's a bystander, but if they're standing by themselves, you know, usually, you know, you got a couple big guys and you come up. You got a couple big guys and you come up, and usually people get the hint, you know. You'd be surprised. A lot of people don't want trouble, you know. I mean, yeah, I got some fun stories about stuff, but, you know, I've never felt good the next day about, like, you know, I've had to put my hands on people. I've had people hit me with stuff. I've had people attack me. I've had people do all kinds of shit. Spit on you, scratch the side of my face, break a plate over my head. And then, you know, it's a little bit different. But I just tell people, you know, it's really just about being nice to people and making them, you know, not embarrassing people, really, to be honest with you.